The next talk that we have is on recognizing conflict opinions in aspect-level sentiment classification with dual attention networks, and it's going to be presented by the first author, Xinhui Tan.
Hello, everyone. I'm Xinhui Tan from South China University of Technology. I'm here to present our work about recognizing conflict opinions in aspect-level sentiment classification. Here is the outline of my presentation. Firstly, I'm going to introduce the background of this task. Aspect-level sentiment classification is a fine-grained sentiment analysis task. In this task, aspect is a category of similar attributes of a product. A model needs to predict the sentiment polarity of each given aspect. For example, in this sentence, a model needs to predict positive sentiment for atmosphere aspect and negative sentiment for food aspect. However, in some cases, both positive and negative sentiment are expressed towards the same aspect. In this sentence, a positive term attractive and a negative term uncomfortable are both expressed describing the same aspect. So this is conflict opinion. However, existing work on this task either ignores conflict opinions in their experiments or have very low accuracy on recognizing conflict opinions. We want to argue that conflict opinion is important because it represents dialectic thinking of human, which means tolerating contradiction. And if a real-life sentiment analysis system cannot recognize conflict opinions, it will assign positive or negative label to them. For example, in this sentence, if we assign positive label to this aspect, it definitely is not right because there is negative sentiment term. Conversely, it also makes no sense to assign negative label because there is positive sentiment term. When implementing existing methods to recognize conflict opinions, there are two problems. Firstly, conflict opinions are sparse. Users who think dialectically in their reviews is far less than people who just make entirely positive or negative comments. Secondly, conflict expression is more complex than positive or negative sentiment expressions. Existing methods have difficulty in recognizing the full expression of conflict opinion. For example, a relative model based on attention mechanism, which aims to attain aspect-related context to find aspect terms, usually attains to one part of conflict expressions and gives wrong answer. First of all, we need to learn feature of conflict opinions from its limited training data. Conventional methods directly classify aspect-related contexts into 4 sentiment classes. Our proposed methods instead gives 2 label prediction. The first label predicts if there is positive sentiment. The second label predicts if there is negative sentiment. If both sentiments exist, it will give conflict label as final prediction. The recognition of conflict opinions is based on positive and negative sentiment, which let the model learn from negative and positive instances. This means our model doesn't need to learn the class-specific feature of conflict and only needs to focus on finding positive or negative sentiment terms. Then we propose an end-to-end neural network based on the 2 label classification method. As the figure shows, GRU encodes word embedding into hidden vectors. Then the hidden vectors are concatenated with aspect embeddings to compute attention scores. The dual attention consists of 2 sets of parameters. Each one attends to an expert-related region and find different sentiment words. Then the test representations are computed through weighted average of hidden vectors. So when we have two attention mechanisms here, but due to the fact that positive words and negative words usually locate in different regions, it will be somewhat meaningless if the two attentions overlap with each other. So we need to do something in order to make them differentiate with each other. We choose to use orthogonal regularization to avoid overlap of two attention. We also compare it with KL divergence, which can also describe the difference between two distributions. But the results show that orthogonal is more suitable and easier to compute. Then the test representations go through fully connected layers and logistic function and produce two-label prediction. With the two-label prediction, we transform it into four-class prediction as the following rules. In our experiment, we set the threshold value to 0.5 to minimize human interference. The objective function is the sum of the negative log likelihood of positive and negative prediction, and the additional orthogonal regularization term. Lambda is hyperparameter to control the effect of regularization term. Our experiment results are as follows. The proposed method outperforms all the other models, especially on conflict class. The ablation tests also show that every module of the proposed method is important. These are the confusion matrix of four models in the experiment. We can see the improvement of conflict class is significant with our proposed method. This is comparisons between the proposed method and the AT-LSTM model in terms of attention. In our proposed model, the negative attention attends to uncomfortable, and positive attention attends to attractive. Based on the existence of positive and negative sentiments, the model correctly predicts the conflict label. To summarize, our work addressed two problems of recognizing conflict opinion. The first is how to learn the features of conflict opinions from unbalanced and limited training data. The second is how to recognize the conflict expression of conflict opinions. And our method consists of three main parts. The first is transformation to multi-label classification. And the second is dual attention networks. And we also propose attention regularization term to differentiate two attention distributions. Thank you.
Questions? Okay, I have a question. So you have been studying the case of, one interesting case where you can have a conflict. So are there other modalities that might pose similar interesting challenges? For example, conditionals or something else like that? For example, if something, then out think that maybe this restaurant is not good, something like that.
Sorry, I didn't hear clearly.
So the question is, okay, you have been looking into particularly some kind of conflict, contrast, right, between different aspects. So the question is, so negation is one kind of, or contrast is one kind of modality. There are other modalities. They can be like, I don't know, I think that, so kind of you can put it into some conditional. Would this be something interesting to model in a similar way?
So you think adding some, I still can hear clearly. Maybe I couldn't understand well.
Okay. Other questions? No questions? Okay, let's take the speaker again.